Welcome everybody, this is Adriana from Nana and Mama's Garden. We're putting some of our seedlings that we planted a couple of weeks ago into bigger pots. The reason being, they're a little big and it's still not time to put them out in the garden. We still have 2 weeks until our last frost date. So we want to give these little seedlings a chance to grow, develop bigger roots, be strong for when we put them out. The materials that we're going to use today are the seedlings. We have some dirt. We have our solo cups that have the little hole underneath to make sure to assure good drainage. The first thing that we want to make sure that we do is to fill our cups with dirt about 1 or 2 inches and tap it just a little bit to make sure we give it room. I'm going to use our tray to pry out our seedlings. So you can either squeeze the seedlings with your hands gently, or you can use a spoon to scoop them out gently as to not disturb their roots. These plants have all been pre-moistened to make it easier for us to open them up, peel them apart, and give everybody a chance to grow big and strong. The other thing I want you to be careful is not to grab the plants by their very delicate stems. You have to grab them by their leaves. All right, now that we have our plant, we're going to put it gently back into the container, and we're going to bring soil and gently put it around the stem. Until we reach the first 2 leaves of the plant. And there we have it. This is an eggplant, early midnight, that was started back in February 10, ready for 2 more weeks. We're going to follow the same procedure for all of these seedlings, and then we'll talk a little bit about tomatoes. So the next plant that we're going to take care of is a tomato. This happens to be one of my favorite tomatoes. It's a green tomato. It's called a zebra tomato. Again, we want to be very careful with our tomatoes and take them out as gently as we can. Now, coming in closer, let me show you something really wonderful about tomatoes. You see all these little hairs that the tomato has? If we put them under the dirt, these will become roots. And the more roots your tomato plant has, the stronger tomato it is. Now, the other thing I want to show you is the difference between these leaves and these leaves. These are true tomato leaves. These are the baby leaves that come out after the seed is done. So we are going to remove these seeds, and we are going to plant this tomato all the way down to here. And this tomato will have roots all along this stem. It's going to be wonderful. So we want a little bit of dirt in the bottom. We're going to stick our tomato all the way down very gently so we don't disturb anything. And then we're going to add our dirt all around it so it has a nice, strong beginning, and it is able to give us some good tomatoes when we put it in the garden. These little leaves are going to the compost bin. There we go. And that's how you do a tomato. We'll do the same thing with the rest of the tomatoes, and then we'll come back for our final plant today, which will be our peppers. All right, so I've done all the green zebra tomatoes. As you can see over here, everybody is nice and snug. The eggplants are here. And now we're going to move on to transplanting a California Wonder Pepper. And this has 3 little baby seedlings inside. One wonderful thing about peppers is they like company. So actually we can leave 2 of them growing together and they would do just fine. 3 is a little too much, so we're going to remove one of the bigger ones and see how that goes. Once again, we're going to squish the sides of our pot very gently. And as we can see, it has fantastic roots. It's nice and strong, and we're just going to divide it. And it couldn't be easier than that. Each little plant, its own little seedlings. Now we're going to put them in their containers. Some people would say, well, this one isn't doing so good, so why don't you just pull it out? We can do that. I hate wasting seeds, but that's all you have to do. You take off the top leaves, and that ensures that this pepper is not going to grow anymore. So once again, I'm going to reuse this container since it already has the name of the plant. We're going to fill it with pre-moistened potting soil. We're going to leave as much of the root as intact as possible. And then we fill the sides. We're going to tap it a little bit, and we do this on all of the seedling transplants to make sure that there are no air pockets, so the roots have a nice place to grow. All right. Again, I'm going to remove the baby leaves because those are not true pepper leaves. And there's our first pepper. Now we're going to do the same thing with the other pepper. Fill the bottom with nice moist dirt. Take as much of the root ball as possible without disturbing the stem. I made this one a little too high. Okay, there we go. And we backfill the rest of the cup. If your soil is too wet, squeeze the water out. We don't want it too wet because that can cause dampening off or rotting of the roots of the plant. I'm going to add some dry potting soil and continue to fill this container. No, I am not going to cover the baby leaves. I am going to pick these out and just leave the true pepper seeds. All right, friends, so that does it for today. I hope you have enjoyed our video on potting up our peppers, tomatoes, and eggplants. Please let us know if you like the video, subscribe, and share. We'll see you next time here at Nana and Mama's Garden. Bye.